Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
I'm Michael.
Today we're talking about the games that we will not be streaming.
That's right, because they are either not our jam, but might be your jam, or they are 3 or more player games.
Or once through.
Or once through games. Things like that. And so why do we do this? Because we like to play all
the
the games. And we know you want to see them all, even if we're not going to play them on stream.
Most of these games that we're going to talk about have been provided by publishers.
Most of them, but we will let you know one way or the other. Let's go ahead and start off by talking about Robot Lab, the card game. And this is from XYZ Game Labs.
Yeah.
Provided to us by them?
Yes.
I assume.
From Gen Con.
Yes.
Yep.
So Robot Lab, the card game, is a retheme of a game that we have already played.
Well, so this was the original.
This was the original, and the retheme that we played
Borderlands.
Was Borderlands Claptrap.
Yeah.
And that was for those of you who know Borderlands, Claptrap is a little smart aleck robot that follows you around on the wheel.
That was a cute theme, yeah.
Yeah. And this is pretty much just like that. And there's really nothing to it at all. It is draw a card, play a card on somebody's robot.
Yeah, it's very luck driven, and if you get the
take
card
that
at the right time, yeah, there's a lot of take that. So for me, it's just a miss. Sure,
it'd be fun for kids or for party gamers.
Lighthearted, so it's easy rules, it's easy to play. So I could see it working for the right group, but
absolutely,
for me, it was just a little bit too much luck.
Yeah, and pure luck games with combined with take that, combined with not too many mechanics. We didn't think you guys needed to see this, but it might be up somebody's alley. So if it does seem like something that you would be interested in, might give Robot Lab, the card game, a try.
Yep.
Next on the list,
I'll take it. I'll take the games.
Whoa. Let's talk a little bit about Trick Draw from Good Games Publishing. It plays 2 to 5 players. Playtime 20 to 30 minutes. I probably should have told the box time for playtime for that, but it's not very long.
Probably the same amount.
Very, very, very similar. So, Trick Draw says magic flippin' cowboys. I mean,
so I think first of all, the name is misleading. I would think it's a trick taking game if you put the name Trick in a card game.
Yes.
I think it was a missed opportunity anyway. And it should have been a trick-taking game.
Or you would think, is it drawing like this or drawing like this?
Right.
And it's pretty much just, it's supposed to simulate some sort of a gunfight by playing and activating cards. Ultimately, you're flipping cards up and flipping cards down to try to get a certain number of points in your tableau.
The thing that really I actually had fun with the cards and trying to outsmart you and do some clever things with the card play. But the thing that really just I hated it was the showdown, the end game showdown, because the way that they do it was weird. It was like Dan was the third player and he was able to make it so that you tied me for the win. So
oh, that's right. This is one of those games where if you tie, your scores are gone. And so
or whatever.
Steph and I think I made you tie me because I couldn't win, so I took you down with me, and Dan was left with 2 points and the win.
The way that it worked out was just
because I almost won.
Dan somehow won, or somebody somehow won when they really shouldn't have.
It was Dan.
Ridiculous.
It was Dan because he was like, "All right, that happened."
I hated how the showdown thing worked in this game, and it just did not work for me. Otherwise, the game was fine. The card play was interesting, but again, games that are races to 10 points or whatever are just not generally my thing.
Right. So we hit the point total, and then canceled each other out, and then leaving Dan as the truly victorious one, which goes to show the only way to win is not to play, probably.
Oh,
Or to just do poorly and then.
oh well.
Oh, well. Let's talk a little bit about Suspects from Studio H,
So
provided to us.
You played the first one. This was the second in the
Oh,
series.
I didn't play this one.
No, you played the first one.
Yes,
We
I
actually
did.
played it on stream, the first one.
So if you're interested in adventure type games, by all means, I think you will get the same feel for this version by watching that version.
Yes.
I would assume anyway, with looking at what's on in the box here.
From my experience with this game, we played the first chapter. I would definitely say start with the first game in the series. We liked the first one well enough. The first game in this had so many flaws and so many problems, so I can't say that I loved it. There was one feature that they did have that made me very, very happy. Like, because it's set in a school, there was a teacher named Mr. Keating, and it had a picture of Robin Williams. So I was like, it was absolutely perfect. They're playing to the right audience with that. I mean, who's gonna get that reference? Pretty much nobody except me, because I'm a fanatic.
Captain, my captain.
Oh, Captain, my captain. So I was very happy to see that. So, but anyway, that's not the point of the story. Well, he wasn't even a character in this scenario. But
well, why would they get so close to an IP like that?
it's because it's a French company, and nobody. It's a one little thing. It's like it's like the space cat in Nemesis or whatever.
Yeah, but that's not really getting too close to the theme, because Jonesy and aliens never got outside in a spacesuit or anything. Anyway, Suspects plays 1 to 6 players. There are 3 90-ish minute adventures in this box. And if you enjoyed the first Suspects, you probably want to try this one. If you enjoy adventure games, like escape room type things, detective type games, then this is also probably right up your alley. See, they're not all bad.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean,
but it did have some flaws, you say.
I think you would have absolutely hated this first chapter. Like,
well, Dan says the case we played was not great.
Yeah, because
hello, Time Roll. Hello, Bree.
Without too many spoilers, we flipped over almost all the cards, which is fine. But the answer was still not even obvious after like looking at everything. It's like, where are you getting at with it? Like, it wasn't normally in good detective type games, you'll find an answer going this path or find an answer going this path, and you come together and like figure it out. This one, you're getting all like crumbs here and nothing. Like, there was one thing that you could pick up a piece of information, but you wouldn't really think to check that for that answer. It didn't really line up. So for me, it wasn't great. And Dan had a lot of comments about the time period and the people and every little thing, but that's beyond the story. It's not. That's just, yeah, Dan, like, well, well.
Dan said there was one particular card we had to look at, and there was no reason for us to look at it.
Right, like,
yeah,
it was. Yeah.
yeah, sorry. No, I totally.
He's the same way. He's the same way.
I'm the same way.
He's the same way. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. But, well, this is not accurate. This is not accurate for the time period. Okay, Dan. I believe you. The normal people like me don't know these things.
yeah, but among gamer crowds, you know how many of Dan's that there are?
Probably a lot.
There's a lot.
Probably a lot, which is fine. But the people playing this might not be. I think what the main girl is like, what, Korean and like a mixture of, what was her name? Anyway, Dan made a comment like, they're not going to be in 1800 England or whatever.
They are not. No.
Like, so yeah, okay, that's just it. It's another universe, a parallel universe. Yeah, whatever. It's the multiverse, right?
Based on her name, half Korean and half Chinese.
Yeah, so it's just things that you know are not. Anyway,
So,
it's still probably worth checking out if you like this type of thing.
from Hatchet Studio 8.
I'm not sad that I played it. It's just there's some flaws. That's all.
Yeah, Time Roll says, I hate when they try to shoehorn in diversity in historical settings. I'm fine with diversity, but when you're doing it uh, in a historical setting, try to be accurate with the historical setting, most importantly. You know, if diversity is important to you, maybe don't set it in that time frame where there wasn't a whole lot of diversity.
Right.
Set it in a different time frame. Set it in an alternate world, in an alternate universe, like we said. But let's go to something very November specific and also an adventure game. It is their Turkey Trial.
Oh, I didn't fix this.
Whoa.
I'll fix it.
Well, it looks not horrible right there. This is from Grand Gamers Guild. Yeah, that's sort of whenever you put my hand there, it sort of fuzzes out because you have to fix it. This is another 18 card escape room game from Grand Gamers Guild. This is in their Holiday Hijinks series. This is number 7. For those of you keeping track, we have played 6 of the 7. We are saving the Groundhog Gambit until February.
Yep.
On purpose, and that one was number 6, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the most recent one.
Dan has played one of them, the Independence Day Incident.
Okay.
I believe is what it is. Time Roller says, I have this. Very cool.
Yeah, we like this series a lot.
All 6 of these so far that we have played have been fantastic for an 18 card adventure. So much goodness in
usually
just
runs
18.
30 to 45 minutes or so.
It could go as long as an hour. We ended in 42 minutes, I think.
For this one.
For this one. It says a 60-minute mystery for one or more sleuths of any age. This is difficulty 1 of 3. And so we played through it 42 minutes, got 4.5 out of 5 turkeys.
Dad, we played you were here last.
You were here for the Independence Day.
We played 4th of July.
Yes.
I remember.
I remember that one. He might have also played the Christmas one, but I know you played the 4th of July one. Yes, I also played that one. Okay, good. Oh, he played the Christmas one, just not with us.
He hates us.
So, that is the Turkey Trial.
They're great.
I can't recommend these highly enough.
I know. I wish more people played them. Like
exactly.
It's easy to look over because it's so small.
And yeah, absolutely.
But I do wish more people played this. They're a lot of fun.
This proves that this video is not just turkeys.
What?
So now it's time to go talk about, well, we could do yet one more escape room type, puzzle type adventure game.
Yeah.
Another one. It's also really, really good.
It's one that Dan also said, well, a lot. Not really.
Because
because
we're Trekkies.
With 2 really big nerds who
one of whom owns an actual Star Trek uniform.
It's pretty nerdy.
That's pretty nerdy. That's pretty nerdy. Oh yeah, Dan says Medbay, not Medbay. Not Medbay.
So, before Michael tells you his point of view for this one, I want to say I thought it was pretty good. I liked it a little bit more than the Indiana Jones one, but not because of the theme. I like the Indiana Jones theme better, but I do like the puzzles better in this one. You do need to play with somebody who knows Star Trek, because if you don't, I don't think you would do well at all. I know I would if I were just doing this solo, I would fail miserably. I would give up probably. But if you play with somebody who knows the series and knows Trekkie things,
yes, you will enjoy it a lot more if you totally geek out on it.
Right. Or you play
But
with
you
people
need to
who are
play.
geeking
You
out on
need
it.
to play
Yes.
with those, and you enjoyed us geeking out on it.
Dan says that there's not that much. Yes, there is.
There isn't.
There is.
There is not.
There is. There is. There is so much. You don't even know because you know the answers, you know the things, and I'm like, how do you know that? Well, you just know it because you know.
Okay,
I don't know.
So okay, if like one of the clues was a letter putting letters in blanks because of some other things, and it starts spelling out the word Vulcan, and we guess it's the word Vulcan. Shoot us that we might know the word Vulcan has never been
No.
used in other conversation before.
No.
I mean, it's not like
What I'm saying is there were definitely some puzzles that needed your knowledge of Star Trek.
so. Dan and I didn't feel that way. At least I assume Dan did not feel that
I
way.
felt that way.
The puzzles were not based on that. So yeah,
I agree they weren't based on that, but there were some that needed that information.
Yeah, I don't think so, but sure. The
Again, it's hard because you know it.
But if I didn't know it, it still I don't think it would. I don't think it required that knowledge. I'm gonna try to find one of the things. Anyway, basically, this goes through your career as a Star Trek officer, starting at the bottom and working away till you get up until you get your own starship. Starts off with something like I don't know if this is the first one, but this is one of the starships that you are on. This game is similar to the Indiana Jones cryptic game, and it suffers from some of the same problems as the Indiana Jones uh, cryptic game. In that, let's say, so some of the things are puzzles, and some of them are these, go in these little areas and try to connect this button with this button and this button, or go along this path and don't get off the path, or you'll get eaten by the space beast or whatever. And I have found that if you ignore one of the colors entirely, it makes it very easy, and you'll likely score as well or better than if you try to do it correctly.
Yep.
So, like if I'm trying to get to each of these green areas and I don't worry about either the red or the yellow, I'm probably going to do really, really well. And Steph's probably going to hit both red and yellow.
I didn't.
Not on this one. No, you didn't. Steph always did the connecting puzzles for us.
Because I like that. I really like that. I like trying that.
Yes. And then I'm like, well, let me try. Oh yeah, it was I think it was this one. It's like stay away from the asteroids and try to go past past the ship while getting up to the corner up here. And so you're supposed to stay away from, like I say, all of the asteroids around the outside. And I just went zoop straight up diagonally through and didn't even care if I hit the ship or not. I was just haphazard about it. And if you hit red, you lose a point. And if you hit yellow, you lose a point. But I don't have to worry about staying in the border, between these two areas because it doesn't matter. Just go straight across and lose a point. No big deal. We still maxed out everything. But it's the same weakness as Indiana Jones had. I wish that they tightened up the system a little bit.
They were probably done at the same time.
I think so. I think they were.
But maybe the next series of cryptic games, whatever that will be.
So I should mention that this was provided to us by Funko, who always provides us a ton of really cool stuff. So thanks to them for that. This plays one or more players, however many that wants to play can play it. And you can play all three, one after the other, or pause in between. We just played all three straight through.
That's how we
because it was that fun. That's how we roll. All right. How about let's talk about some dueling games.
And Bree's like, oh, here we go
Sorry,
again.
Bree.
Oh, here we go again. These games.
So, Evian. This particular Evian title is the Ram and the Raven. It is a two-player set provided to us by Luminary Games and Ape Games. In the Evian world, you basically got one player dueling against another player. As you can see here from the back of the box, each player has a little life total thing on the side. Each of the players has their own particular life totals, and if you are using the preset up set of cards, then you will use that pre-generated set of cards. However, you can create decks of your own choosing if you want. There is a, what is it, a 4x4 grid, a 5x5, 3x3? I can't remember, Steph. There is a grid. One of you starts in one corner and one in the other.
4x4.
I think that is 4x4. One of you starts in one corner, one of you starts in the other corner, and you can cast spells on each other and cast spells on spaces, and they will give you buffs or penalties. And so it is your standard dueling game. So if you're into that, this might be up your alley. There are many, 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 many of these two-player duel sets. So you can mix and match these Evian sets all you like. Some of the downsides with it. Well, let me talk about another plus. You basically have action points, and you can translate that into, I believe this is focus. Is that correct, Steph? And then there's another currency called initiative, which basically gives you a move or drawing a card.
Yeah.
The things that don't work. Normally, Steph plays the, oh, I'm going to beat you up warrior, and I play the really skilled mage that tries to do all sorts of clever sort of, I'm going to counter your block with this spell, whatever, or counter your attack with this spell. Except the spellcaster was this cutesy girl, and Steph's like, no, I want to be the cutesy girl. And so that left the guy as the warrior guy as me, and the cutesy spellcaster girl as you. And then I went over to her side of the board and went bang, 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 bang.
If it's like, a girl. It might not be a girl, but
it's hard to tell.
Well, yeah. I mean,
some days you just can't.
I tried to save resources. Yes. From round to round because I needed them for my cards to play. But then Michael would just come bang on me.
I would hit her and she would drop her resource.
So it's like all my efforts were for nothing. And then I would try and play a card, and then he would like block the card, and then it was like all for nothing again. And then I just kept losing tons and tons of health points, and I just couldn't. I got 0 hits on him, and he just basically killed me. So that was fun. No. I hate all of the counter, then counter this and counter this. I hate all of that kind of card play because it just doesn't work for me. I can't deal. So I don't like that. It's too much what ifs. So then if Michael does this, then I can do this. And then I just don't care. That's my problem. I don't care. Therefore, I don't care about this game.
Right.
So it needs to be very simple. Yeah, the rules are shorter than the next one we're going to talk about. But
Bree said if you haven't played Curia, you should. It's an 18-card dueling game, also from Lucky Duck.
Yeah, people are playing the heck out of that one at people are talking a lot about it at Spiel, but I don't. I looked it up and I'm like,
yeah,
okay. I didn't see the draw, so there must be something really great about the gameplay. I have really high hopes because of the way people were talking about that game. But again, we're not.
I mean, a lot of these dueling games build up a great big following. Radlands built up a great big following.
Radlands, the the whole genre better than this.
Right, and that's why we actually streamed Radlands. I don't feel like this particular set would show well. If we were to get another Evian title, I know Steph would not be interested in it, but I'm just saying if we were to have gotten a different Evian title where it's not my warrior and your spellcaster, and I knocked your resources out of your hand each and every round, so you had to basically start over from scratch. When Steph stopped the game, I started with 42 life and had 42 life and heavy armor to boot. Steph started at 40 life and was down around 17, 16 life when she quit.
I'm like, there's nothing I can do. He keeps taking all my stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and I was armored.
Flag.
I had a buff on the board that would give me an extra some mitigate tokens, I believe it was, which mitigated the first couple points of damage that she gives to me every single round. And Steph put up one of these cards that would curse me every round, and I went poof, and now let's proceed to bash you across the head again. And you're like, no, this is when I dispelled that card, it was over for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not fun. And it's not fun for me. I'm sure some people love it. So therefore, cool, go buy all 6 sets. Do it.
Yep. Splitty says it's like a blue match in Magic. It's just boring, stacked interrupts and all that. I like blue.
Yeah. You're biased towards blue.
Yeah, but I play blue in Magic because it has a lot of those counter spells, and nope. Cast a spell, nope. I want a nope shirt. I really want a nope shirt. Anyway, blue is great when one player is blue. I agree, Splitty. Then we've got Senjutsu Battle for Japan from Stone Sword Games and provided to us by Lucky Duck Games.
I like this one better than Evian.
Yes.
But 30 pages of rules.
So Steph pulls this game out and says 1 to 4 players. Good. We can play it. 20 minutes.
Oh, 20
minutes on the box.
Awesome. Sweet.
Sounds good.
No problem.
Looks, other than the gray, all of the colors in the game are bright and colorful. Yay. Another plus.
Looks so pretty. Cool.
Yes. An Asian theme, which Steph will gravitate towards.
I like it, yeah.
Which I also gravitate towards.
Yes, Splitty.
Really pretty miniatures, which is neither a requirement nor is it a detraction, but it's a duel game. Well, okay, we're gonna give it a try. And then it was literally 26 pages until you got to what it was, solar rules or extra variants and the appendix and everything. And so this 20-minute game took a couple of hours to figure out how to play it before a 20-minute game that, again, Steph waved the white flag on because, yeah, Dan opened the box, looked at the rules, put it away. It literally, yeah, Splitty said 20 minutes playtime and an hour and a half trying to figure out the rules. At least an hour and a half. At least.
It's just so many rules.
And that's not to say that
so many icons and so many situations. I'm like, does there have to be that much?
Yeah. So
it really needed to be cut back.
There was, yeah, I agree. If exactly, Dan says if you love it and play it over and over, it's worth the time invested.
Of course.
Now this doesn't mean that we're not going to look at the rule book. So we read the whole thing, as we do. This is one of the downsides to playing all the games. Because when you do, you have to play all the games, including ones that you might not gravitate towards because it might be your favorite game. It might be
what you love.
The dueling game that makes you start falling in love with dueling games. This actually happened to you with co-op games.
Oh, sure.
So yeah.
Hey, Giggles. Hey, Seth. Isn't this a dead horse? Yes, time roller it is.
Seth said big no.
But yeah, we played it.
Yeah, we did play it.
Somebody didn't like it.
Somebody's gonna. The green the green light is still flashing on the microphone, but it's just not going anymore in OBS. We don't know why this happens. Anyway, we're saying that we can put feet on the bottom of this thing and it still goes falls right over with 2 feet on it. And there's not much more room for 3 feet to be put on it. Anyway, it goes on top of the playfield and it covers up most of the playfield. I mean, it's ridiculous. There are the rules say, all right, here are some, decide which obstacles you're gonna put on this really small playfield. And the more obstacles you have, the better it's going to be, and the more awesome sort of ways that you can like trick people into corners and stuff. And I'm like, which obstacles you want? She said none. I said, yeah, okay, no obstacles, because you're supposed to go. I take these and you take these, and then we're gonna take turns putting obstacles onto the fit. Nobody, I don't care.
For me, it's way too much.
I don't care.
Yes, if you're playing this game a lot and you want like cool like features and such like to change up the playing field, great. That's perfect for repeated plays. But for me, first play, absolutely not.
So we have a solo campaign book. Let's see. Oh, Path of the Ronin. So, look, you got a comic at the start.
I think it looks really nice.
It looks great. But yeah, in between each of these, look, you get. I did not know. Inside the solo campaign book, you got more maps.
There you go.
That's sort of cool. And if there's not a map, there's a scenario that tells you how to set up the normal map. Now, if you're a solo gamer, I can pretty much guarantee this is right up your alley if you enjoy these sort of things.
Yeah.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bree says, I quite like this game, but I fully understand your complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it looks like maybe 10 or 12 scenarios, solo scenarios, and you can make as many as you want, really.
It's actually a really nice.
But yeah, I wanted to like this game because it's got a little bit of timing in this. So you basically have a countdown timer, not an actual timer, but you basically count down. All right, we're on you start off with sequence 7. Does anybody have a 7 on their cards? Nope. How about 6? How about 5? Oh wait, I'm doing an attack on 5. And then we carry out that portion of it. And then we go down to 4. And then 3. Oh, the bottom half of my card activates on 3, so I'm going to finish the rest of my card. 2. Oh, Steph's goes, oh wait, she's not in position anymore because I knocked her back 2 spaces. Then 1, 0. Hey, let's do a new round. Draw new cards, etc. Lather, rinse, repeat. And that's pretty much what happened. Every time I got her into position, every time she got into position, I would get out of position. But as soon as I got into position and hit her once and knocked her back, it spoiled her plan, what she wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. And so.
Typical.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Senjutsu. We want to try to put it in as good a light as possible. Oh, there's another scenario book for it. Really cool. For those of you who, for those who enjoy those sort of games, um, it very well might be up your alley.
Hey, Dr. Sun.
Hello, Dr. Sun. Whoop, we lost that one. How about Urubamba Valley? Um, this does, it has a Chinese name and Chinese rules, and it says up here in the corner, English rules included. You open the box up, and there's Chinese rules staring you in the face. You're like, where are the English rules? Open it up. Halfway through, there's the English rules. Yep. Matter of fact, we actually turned the rules. We have a friend named Dale who literally opens up the rule book and then folds the page open to some random page of the rule book wherever he was last.
Yep.
And so every game we get from Dale, it's on the wrong page and folded backward. We Daled the rule book is what we did.
Yeah.
But to the first page of the English rules. In Urubamba Valley, you know how Urubamba Valley is. It's got steps and it's got llamas. Okay, maybe you don't know that.
Now you know it.
Who knows? Yeah. Bree says, is this the one with the steps? Yeah.
Now, the main reason we're not playing it is because it's 3 players.
It's a 3-player game. And we can't possibly play it on stream because Dan's not here.
That's right.
We played this with James and Susan. And basically, you will earn points for placing these different grain tiles, fruit, veggie tiles, seed tiles. I think seed tiles. Onto the land positions. Some brave soul will spend their resources to move up to the next step. And so then everyone else can follow after that. And the llamas can be used to increase you'll get points based on how large that seed pile gets. If you've got 4 contiguous areas of your seed, you're going to get more and more and more points, unless someone steps in front of you and stops you. If no one does, they're going to run away with the other person's going to run away with the victory.
Yeah. I mean, you can learn about different seeds. You can study to be a new farmer type, and then you can start collecting new seeds. There are powers.
You only know how to do certain seeds. Somebody else might have different seeds. And so you try to work on.
Right. There's different powers you can get in the game to help you with. Because on your turn, you're just doing one of 3 different things or something. You could buy, you could plant, or you can do income or something, sell or whatever they are. So it moves pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. It does play in 60 minutes, but you're getting a lot done because it's not long turns.
Right.
But
so I did not have to spend my hard-earned whatever the currency was to learn how to plant the different other types of seeds, because I had a power that let me, I believe it was, I could plant one seed that I didn't know how to plant. I could automatically plant that seed without having to do any learning of how to plant that seed. And so that gave me, I think, a fairly large boost. And ultimately, it was just who tries to block each other out, square them out, and then all the rest of the areas for.
Well, yeah, and
it's for me to. Yeah.
Susan had a cool power, she could have 2 discs on the income track, so she could move up twice on the income track before having to take income, because you're capped.
You're capped at a certain.
And so you'd have to take income so you don't miss out on losing money and such. But yeah,
it was okay. We would have streamed it had we been able to stream it, but ultimately it's not. This one is not a keeper for us. Just not enough there to hold my attention. These things have been done before, I think, and done better in other games. So, yeah. And that is Urubamba Valley from Broadway Games.
Yep.
This one I cannot talk about at all because I did not play it. This is Meat Master, not provided by the publisher. Plays 1 to 5 players in 15 to 20 minutes. This is from Waza Games and Homo Sapiens Lab. Steph, this is all you.
Dan played this, and actually inside the box is Salad Master.
Really?
Provided by Dale. That's right. It's with the Dale game. Yeah, it's weird because one, I'm not really a foodie, right? So the Salad Master one I think was definitely harder because it has all these different foods that I hadn't even know what it. I don't. That's a thing. Oh, okay. At least with meats, I can kind of guess like how many calories and how many like the you kind of need to know the nutritional value because the active player is going to pick a category and then you're trying to pick the one of your cards um to be, or you pick one of your opponent's cards. I forget. You pick one of the cards and you don't know the information. You're trying to get closest to. So it's like a, you know, closest to situation, and whoever gets closest will take the card. And so it's really how much knowledge do you have about these different foods, and if you can guess it, that's great. And you get the point. So it's kind of real. It's a really good.
Doesn't seem to be that bad.
It's a really good learning food type game. Like if you are trying to become a chef and you just want to like learn more about different foods, like I could see actually playing this or using the cards as like information. But there isn't really much gameplay.
Dan says it's amusing enough. It's another attempt to turn top trumps into a game like Landertoppen. Landertoppen is much better, but these are meant to be educational. Cool.
Yeah, I mean it. I'm not sad that I played it, but it's not like a keeper by any stretch.
All right, there's a little image from the back of the box in case you want to see what some of the cards might look like. And you don't have to know the foreign language to play, obviously.
No, it's in English.
So let's talk about War and Right 2 from 2 Plus. Steph saw that this was a roll and write, or War and Right, I guess. There's not really that much roll and write to it, I don't think. This is a small war game, sort of disguised as what they think is a roll and write, but it's really all it is programmed movement.
It's programming.
That's all it is. It's like, here's the map board for this turn. I'm going to move this tank here and this tank here and this troop here, and there's just tanks and troops. It's really all there is.
I kind of like the cover.
Yeah, it's
super busy, but it's not at all representation of what's happening in the game, really.
No. Basically, you've got 1 to 3 of these 6-card map boards, basically. Each representing a huge region of the world. I think one card is East US, one is West US, 2 different cards for Canada, 1 card for part of Europe. I mean, it's like big chunk of the world. And you're moving the stuff around. No, there's not tanks and troops. There's tanks and boats. That's all there is.
Yeah.
Not even infantry, just tanks on land and boats in the water.
If you use the advanced module, you get cards that will give you certain powers in the game. But generally, it's a war game.
And said planes, never heard of them. There's no planes. No, I take that back. There are cardboard planes. There are a few of them.
Oh, yeah, if you're using the special abilities.
So you got these little cardboard planes. I mean, it's cute, but it's not war and right. You would think, hey, it's some kind of roll and write game. It's really
not that.
Not that. It's just programmed movement where you're writing down where you're going to go in the world. So, yeah.
It was fine. I'm glad it's really just not my jam, really.
Yeah.
Somebody will like it, I'm sure.
So it's right without the roll? Yes. It's right with war. So it's war and right. 2. Because did they do 1? They did war and right 1, didn't they? They didn't?
No, because it's World War II.
But that's like a redo of another one of their games.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
That
Anyway,
I don't know.
if that's up your alley, maybe you want to play that. Moving on to this is fun. How I put this out of my memory. Tatari from Studium Mundi.
The creepy doll game.
This is the creepy doll game. I don't
I
remember.
actually like this one.
I don't remember. I gotta look at it.
It is Picomino.
Oh
with,
yeah.
With a twist.
Picomino with creepy dolls. So you've got spots numbered 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 or something. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yes. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the dice have, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Single doll, double doll.
Yeah.
So, like Picomino, you roll all your dice and you have to take all of one type of die. If you roll only what you've already chosen before, you've busted. You cannot choose, like if you've already chosen 4s, you can't choose 4s again. So if you roll nothing but 4s and you've already taken 4s, you've busted. And so you have to take all the dolls of whatever is the most numerous. Your goal is to get rid of all your creepy dolls, so you don't want any more creepy dolls. Eventually, you keep rolling until you've rolled both a number of one of those sets and a number of dolls on your dice, and you have rolled more dolls than already exist on that number. If you don't, you're taking dolls regardless. If you do roll more, then you can dump some of your dolls on that space. Ultimately, I just rather play Picomino.
I thought it was fine.
It was fine.
You hated it.
It was
I like the creepy doll face.
There's not enough control.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's on. You can kind of see it.
Yeah, with the light.
Oh,
yeah, like that. Yeah. Yes. Oh, so scary. So there's just, for me, there's not enough control in this game. Dan says it's not as good as Picomino, but it's fine. Yes, it's.
Well,
what?
I sold it. It's going in the mail tomorrow.
Someone's gonna get creepy doll for a gift. Let's talk a little bit about some games that come way back in the.
Hey, Legends, keep it on there.
I will. So we're done with it. This is called Heaven, Here I Come. Now I remember this game. We played this at a convention. We played this at TGD, right?
You need to play. It takes 5 to 10 people. So it's a lot of people.
Why are we not playing this? That's part 1. It takes
definitely
5 people.
It's 10 people.
5 to 10.
I think we played it with.
No, we played it with 5.
Yeah, we played it with
the minimum. And it's not great with the minimum.
I'm not sure it'd be much better with more, but.
She's not wrong. It's a 20-minute game provided to us by Broadway Games. Here's the gist of it, though. You want to be the most evil. And you want to basically pin all this on the scapegoat. Whoever is the most innocent gets to be the goat. How do you know who the goat is? Well, you've got different zodiac symbols. One between me and my right partner, one between me and my left partner. If I look at these 2 cards, that tells me whether I am guilty of a large sin or a little baby sin. Not so much, right? Whoever has the most sin will want to try to find out who's got the little babyest.
Obviously,
Of
we
sin.
had the most sin.
Did you? I
Yeah.
thought I thought I was going to, and I knew that one of the other people on the other side of the table had the least, and I thought it was Laura.
We
It was
we
actually
thought it was Laura.
but it was actually Panic. But I knew it was either Laura or Panic. How do I know this? Because you know one of the other cards. Here's the catch. I know these two, right? I cannot look at this neighbor's opposite card or this neighbor's opposite card. In a 5-player game, that leaves exactly one card I can look at, the one directly across from me. In a 6-player game, I would have 2 cards I could look at. I can look at one of them. So you look at it and you put it down. And then you're supposed to do some sort of, he said, she said, sort of, oh, I know this and you know that. So clearly she has to be the goat. And if you're the goat, you're like, no, 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 it's that person. Here's the thing. The rules aren't quite clear about what you can say.
Yeah, it's weird.
About what you truly know. If I sit there and go, no, he had the red icon, and clearly, if you think he's got the yellow icon and on the other side, I know that that's a red icon. Red plus yellow equals we should target him.
Or whatever.
And what fun is that? But if you can't say anything, then you're just taking a shot in the dark. Ultimately, there are many other hidden role games that work much better than this.
I just got to be the most evil.
Hello, Legends.
I was called out though. Panic knew it.
Panic knew that you were the. Oh yeah.
How rude.
If the goat can call out the most evil, then they automatically win. If they're found out, but he was never found out.
Typecasting. Yeah.
All right, a game that we had super high hopes for.
Totally had a high
from Pops and Bijou Channel 1 because we really enjoyed Cultivate.
Yeah, I liked Cultivate.
Yes, and we did stream that one too.
Yeah.
From the same publisher. Cultivate. The box says 2 to 6 players. It plays in 30 to 60 minutes. This should not have said 2-player. It really should not have.
It either better 2-player special rules or just not 2-player.
Or just not 2-player rules because it doesn't work 2 players. And now I can't even, it's been a while since we've even played this.
You're trying to find the stories for your news channel. But you have to kind of work with other people to do it, but you also can backstab people at the same time.
And in a 2-player game,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You need to rely on other people a little bit in this.
But if I rely on her all the time, then I'm not giving ahead.
Yeah, then we're doing the same thing.
Right.
I don't know. There's just problems, and they don't have really 2-player rules to like fill in additional cards with like a dummy player, an AI or something, which it needed something like that.
Or it needs, well, in 3 players, you start getting into a little bit of king making. I think probably 4 to 6 would be a sweeter spot for this game.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Because I can almost visualize in my head what would happen if it's a 3-player game, and I work with Dan, and Dan works with me, and nobody works with you, and you hate it.
I hate it. Yeah, I get that. That happens.
Yes.
So I don't know. This game didn't really live up to what I thought it was gonna be.
I really wanted to like it because I with my limited games that I played from Pops and Bijou, I was like, oh yeah. Matter of fact, it has the same art style as Cultivate.
It's very iconic. I know it's their games because they have this certain look, and the quality is pretty good too in their games. So,
sort of 50s, 60s look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the yeah.
They have another one coming again next year, I think. So,
Well,
we'll see.
despite this game, I look forward to their
The
next.
next one is totally different. So.
Yes, well, this one was totally different from
Exactly.
Cultivate.
So you never know. That's why we play them.
Yep. So that's channel 1 from Pops and Bijou.
Yep.
James, this was what, James and Susan and the two of us, or was this me, you, and Dan? It was me, you, and Dan.
DanCon.
This was part of DanCon. This is Kyoto from Deep Print and the Pegasus Spiel. Did we get this from Pegasus? This was not a review copy.
I picked it up in a VFM because I wanted I'm not really a big negotiation fan.
Yeah.
But, you know, Deep Print has had a pretty good track record with me and for me enjoying their games recently. So, you know what? For a small box negotiation game, how hard could it be?
Exactly.
Give it a shot. I know you need more than 2 people.
It plays 3 to 6, which is why we're not streaming it.
Yes.
It plays in 30 to 45 minutes.
Yes.
And it's got a really interesting sort of theme. You're trying to, like the Kyoto treaties, you're trying to like enter into these sort of deals with other nations because each of you is a nation. You take your cut of the money whenever you are the speaker, and then you get to put one of these proposals up for global, how we're going to deal with this crisis sort of thing that's happening. And there are 3 things that you need to manage. You need to make sure that the temperature does not go too high, and the animals do not die out, and the clouds do not all turn to, I guess, acid rain, I think is what the little dark clouds around the outside border. The board is really small. It's just got a space for 5 clouds, 5 animals, and 5 temperature things. Whenever you turn over one of these features because something bad happens, something extra bad might happen. Well, with every one of these crises, there is one thing that is bad that is known, and one thing that is bad that only the speaker knows. And they hide that behind there's a little thing on the lectern that hides half the card. And then everyone has to decide how they want to handle this. Usually it's in the form of money. Sometimes it's in the form of cards, and you don't get any more cards. You're going to sacrifice some of your cards, which is going to be worth money to you and your country, but mostly to you. At the end of the game, if you don't spend them on all this stuff, but all the stuff saves the world.
Right, but we also have hidden goals like I want animals to die, so I'm helping.
Here's the thing. You want animals to be as low as possible.
Right.
But without going off the end.
Yeah.
If either cloud, the clouds or the temperature or the animals goes all the way critical, you all lose. Well, you don't all lose. But the game end is triggered, and the person with the most money loses because they didn't give enough, obviously. You just get more money if you complete your hidden goal. I don't know why you would want all the animals to die. Whatever. I'm not a part of this sinister cabal.
You have to just read the card. It explains it.
But here's the thing. I tried to keep all of the oil cards out of the play area. And you can make deals with someone. If Steph puts in an oil card, I could say, Steph, if you take that out, I'll give you $3 million.
You have to be more specific. You have to say, and play
no other. Yeah, well, cards. And there's the thing. She doesn't have to stick to it. She does have to take the card back, but she could put out another card, thereby saving the animals that maybe you wanted to die. So anyway, it's got a lot of negotiation in it. If for some reason you save the world by the end of the game, whoever has amassed the most money wins. Otherwise, whoever has amassed the most money loses because they didn't do enough to save the planet.
Fair enough.
And that is Kyoto.
We should have just let Dan die.
It is different. It's a different
game.
It's
not bad. I mean, I'm not really big on negotiation, but I think this one works pretty well.
Yeah. So Tom Roller says that he has Kyoto. And then we will end on yet another positive.
Did
What?
one fall or no?
No, the Warren Wright fell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it.
Let's end on a good note. Noobs in Space from Cosmos. This made your top 10.
It did. I really like this one.
Yeah. Plays 3 to 5 players, which is why we can't show it to you. The other reason is because you can only play it through once, really.
Yeah.
But there are 8 15-minute scenarios in it. So it's going to give you a couple of hours of really solid enjoyment.
Yeah, I think so. We talked
a little bit about this on your top 10.
We did. But you're going to deal out all the cards for round 1. It's very clear. All the cards are very clearly marked with what rounds they're in.
Yeah.
And when you put them in.
Like card number 47 might be used in adventures 1, 2, 5, 6, and 8. Yeah. And it'll say that on the back of the card, and you'll just deal
all the ones.
Deal all the ones.
So it's very easy to deal and do it. You're gonna need a timer because you want to time it. But once you get going, you're gonna try and finish all these tasks. Who has task 1? Then that person reads out task 1, and then it will tell you to go find the wire or the scissors and the blue wire. And cut
or it'll say count all the levers.
Count all the levers. How many levers do we have?
I have 2 levers.
I have 1 lever.
It says he has 3 levers. We have 6 levers.
Oh, sweet. Who has the white one? And
yeah, so if it's 4 levers, find this card. If it's 5 levers, find this card. If it's 6 levers, find this card. So
all of that.
Wrong lever, and then things blow up. That's right.
And so you finish that task, and then you go to task 2 and 3, and then once you're done and you've solved the cases of this round,
then they even have a picture for the answer.
Yeah, so if
does your table look like this?
Does your table look like this? If all those cards are on the table, then you've done a good job or not.
And you say, no, that's a hand.
Yeah. And so you get your score based on the time that you used and how well your picture matches. And so you do that.
And our pictures tended to match.
Yeah, of course.
I think there was only one that was like, no, that wording could have been better.
Yeah.
Mostly the puzzles they're meant to be speed things. And now there's some really interesting ones where it's like, and we missed one of these, where it's like, all right, of all of the rockets at the table, I need to find one that's not like this one, and I can't show this one, so I've got to describe it. All right, I've got 3 feet on the bottom of this rocket. Who has 3 feet? And they're like, oh yeah, so it can't be this one, it can't be this one. All right, 2 windows on this rocket. Who's got 2 windows? It's not that one. Eventually, 1 rocket will be left. You got to play that rocket on the table. Anyway, interesting things like that.
Yeah. It's silly fun.
Silly fun, and you're incentivized to be fast at it.
Yeah. And so I said it on the top 10 the other day, but I'll say it again. This is a really good Christmas gift.
Gift guide.
Because the rules are easy. It's silly fun. It plays 3 to 5 players. It'll be fun to play this at a Christmas gathering or, just a family gathering during the holidays. So definitely recommended by me.
Maybe I'll take it to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If we still have it.
Yeah.
So that is Noobs in Space from Cosmos. And I don't see anything else on the chair.
That's it.
I think that's all we've got. Or that's all we remembered
to put in the video.
Yeah. So we rounded up a whole bunch of the games that we had already started to move into other areas. And we're like, no, we need to do this video because we haven't done one in a while. And there's probably several that we did not put between videos 4 and 5. This is our 5th instance of this series. So, yes.
True.
And we said we really need to do this more often.
No. Let's just stream all the games.
We also do that.
Yeah.
And so we've got a whole couch full of games to bring to you. So, without further ado, we will get right into doing that. But if you enjoyed this video and you want to come join us on Twitch, then hey, come join us on twitch.tv/boardgamerstuff every
Wednesday and Sunday, 5 p.m. Central.
Yes.
Where we stream 3 games.
Every single stream. Or like a weird night like tonight, like Friday night, right?
Yeah, weird.
Yep. So come join us on Twitch where we play and talk about all the games.
That's right. And you can find us on YouTube. Just search for Board Gamer Stuff.
And you will find all of our 1,100 videos now.
It's a lot. It's a lot of videos over there. So be sure to follow and subscribe to all those cool things.
That's right. And for those of you on Twitch, we will be
right back.